we've been talking all week about Startup Weekend here in New Mexico, and we have a great guest to talk a little bit more about it. So we have Jessica Eaves Mathews here with us.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Very excited to be here.
And you are the CEO and founder of Leverage Legal Group.
That's right.
So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, Leverage Legal Group is one of the first virtual law firms, intellectual property and business law firms for small business entrepreneurs and actually mid to large companies as well, but our real passion is entrepreneurs and small business owners.
Oh, okay.
And so we have clients all over the country. We deliver most of our services virtually.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, and everything's flat fee. It's very affordable. Because I believe personally that you shouldn't have to have a big business and big budget in order to have good legal guidance.
And that's probably one of the most difficult things.
It is, and it's so critical.
It can get expensive.
I mean, I loved what you were saying earlier about entrepreneurship really being the answer to our economy, and I really believe that. And but if you don't have your legal foundation in place, you're operating at great risk, and I hate to see that.
It's huge risk.
It's a huge
I think
risk.
that's where people really mess up their business.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. So that's what we try to do is prevent that.
So do you help as far as like from the beginning to the end, the whole process?
Exactly. We can help form the entity like LLCs or corporations. We do all the contract drafting, trademark filings, copyright filings. We basically advise, and we do a lot of internet law advising as well. So if you have a web presence, which most companies do, you know, we can help draft all of the disclaimers and documents that you need to have, contracts you need to have on your website in order to make sure you're protected as you operate on the internet.
So many ways you need to dot your I's and cross your T's
Exactly.
that you didn't have to do in the past.
Exactly.
So.
And it's, you know what, if you come to someone like us, it's actually pretty painless. So, you know, we're trying to sort of demystify the process and make it approachable for people to get it done.
And you're a speaker this weekend at Startup.
I'm a judge,
You're
actually.
a judge.
Yes.
You're a judge. So what got you interested in entrepreneurship?
You know, it's funny because as a lawyer, you think the last thing a lawyer would be entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
But I think it's been in my blood. I have generations of entrepreneurs in my family. My grandfather was an entrepreneur here in New Mexico many, many years ago, and all of his brothers were as well. And are you having an aha moment?
I know who your grandfather was. I know who your grandfather was.
J.W. Eaves was my grandfather.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
And so it's in my blood, and I really got my first taste of it about 12 years ago. I launched a high-end construction firm with my then husband, now ex-husband. Wow. It may have contributed to the demise of our relationship, but actually I fell in love with being an entrepreneur, launching a business, the whole process. I've launched many since then. I've got many more in the hopper. And the thing I'm most passionate about is helping other people launch their businesses. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning. It's very exciting.
Seriously, just finding out. There's such a cool legacy that you're continuing too, which endears you more to me.
Oh, good.
So,
and my brother's an entrepreneur as well, so we're both doing what we can to you know, help create jobs and make the economy stronger here in New Mexico.
Cool, cool.
And how did you get involved as a coach for Startup Weekend?
Yeah, well, actually, because I'm so passionate about this, I'm always looking for organizations that are doing what I care about. And Startup Weekend actually started in Seattle, and I actually lived there for many years, about 20 years. That's where I practiced law first. And so I found them first and then discovered that we had the New Mexico Tech Council that was actually taking this on and beginning to run the Startup Weekends here. Amazing group. And so I reached out to them and said, how can I help? So the last one we had in Santa Fe, I was a speaker and a coach, and this time I get to be a judge, which I'm so excited about. I get to judge the pitches at the end of the weekend.
That's exciting.
Do you burn any bridges when you're a judge?
I don't know. Well, it's yet to be seen. That's Sunday night.
I think it's a double-edged sword with that sometimes.
So I am fascinated by the title of your book. Jessica has a book coming out this summer. It's called Wonder Woman: How Western Women Will Save the World.
Yeah, I know I should have had my two bracelets.
I almost wore the costume, but I thought that'd be going a little too far, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, so the book is really about how, I mean, I am a big believer that entrepreneurship is going to save our economy. It's what our economy was built on to begin with.
Exactly.
The entrepreneurial.
We forget about that.
We do forget about that because we're very used to sort of the big companies now, but really it was the engine behind our economy to begin with. And in particular, women entrepreneurs are uniquely positioned to really build the economy in a new way. And I have to say, in the book we talk about the fact that we believe, I have a co-author for the book, Phil Dyer, and we believe that the current business model that we operate under in our economy is broken. And if you look just from 2008, it's become really apparent that that a lot of the problems that we've been facing economically come from the fact that business leaders and executives have been interested in their own selves and their interests over those of their employees, their shareholders, their customers or clients, and even their communities. And so we need a radically, it's sort of the I win by you losing sort of art of war way of doing business is sort of the old school way, right? I win, and it's better, I don't want to just win, I want to squash you in the process, right? And everything has been focused on the bottom line. And we have to have a radically different way of doing business in order to have sustainable recovery in our economy. And women are uniquely situated for that. And so that's what the book is really about, is why we are where we are today economically, what brought us there, and how women entrepreneurs really are the solution to that.